Morning, everyone. 10 o'clock. Call the meeting to order. Approval of the agenda as presented. Sure. Bruce, thank you. All in favor? So it's carried. Okay, we have a couple of additions and one deletion. And the first deletion we have is under Public Works. Number G, RFD for Township Road 48 hard surfacing. I'm pulling that off because the road is not all the same width. It's
under
different.
G?
Yeah. I was going to talk to council about changing the surface, but the road's not, the width isn't conducive for what I was thinking, so I'll pull that off. But we do have some additions, and the additions are changing some names on the road allowance lease agreements. So I'd like to add under, where do you want to put that under administration? Okay, the first one is, we'll put down as Reinhardt Ranching Limited as K. And then under L, we will add Chelsea McDonald, put it down as that one.
Kelsey?
Chelsea. So, we'll change those. Chelsea McDonald, under L. So that is all I had. Anybody got anything else? On most things, Richard, to the additions and deletions, all in favor?
Yep.
That's carried. Okay, thank you. Council meeting minutes. Any errors or omissions? Anybody saw? Motion to approve.
So Millie?
Mike beat you to it. All in favor? Votes carried. We have Mr. Eisen's coming in at 9:30. Talk about our financial statements. So, Ag Service Board. Somebody want to get our Ag Service people? Hey, Jamie.
Morning, James.
So we have James's report in front of you. Anybody have any questions or comments on it?
I just wanted to ask some questions on that container site phase out and
Yes.
how we doing on that as far as the ones we're assessing.
So basically, we had an initial meeting with Rohi to start it up for the phase one. So they'll be starting or have started the literature review and gathering the information. I went through the files the other day with some of our records, and I've digitized them and will be forwarding that to them as part of the process. So that process has started for the phase one.
And how long is this going to take
To
to finish phase one?
It shouldn't, to me, our goal is to have that completed and potentially move on to phase two where required this year. So I'm guessing we should have that done within a month or two, the
So
phase
what
one.
happens to the containers this year?
Basically, the program is closed. So we are not accepting, we can't accept anymore. Our main site, there was a webinar here earlier this week on Monday, and we will be getting a final clean out this spring of our main site. All our satellite sites are empty and that, so all jugs need to go back to the retailers. We can't accept any more at our sites.
So as of now, all jugs go back to the retailer?
Yeah, as of January 1st.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Have you put signs up at the sites?
Yeah, there's a closure sign at each site. The Irma one, I'm not sure where it's sitting, but yeah, there's a closure sign at each site, and all the rest of the signs will be pulling down shortly. And once it's cleaned out, there'll be a lock on the gate till we go through the process of the one site. And we'll explore other options once we get through the phases on reusing a couple sites and taking one site down.
Is there any environmental damage on those sites?
That's what these environmental things will tell us. I believe the 3 satellite sites, if anything, will be minor. The main site, there will be some work to do at that site. But we'll find out once we get through phase 1 and do the testing in phase 2. So that will verify everything as we go through the process.
Was there any liners in any of them, did you know? Like
Clay.
you're all just clay liners?
Yeah, it's just the main site has a clay liner and a berm. The Edgerton site has a clay liner. There's a clay liner and some gravel at Chauvin, and the current Irma one was on that cement pad inside that building.
Okay, any other comment? Everybody get a motion for James' report then, please, Billy? Thank you.
One thing, sorry, I just was going to add to the report. I thought there might have been more questions. Just last week, we got an email, or earlier this week, we got an email from Kimberly Zagar of Explore Edmonton. So she's the person in charge of the Farm Family Awards that take place at Farm Fair. And this is what she sent. After careful consideration, Explore Edmonton has made the difficult decision to forego the Farm Family Awards program in 2024. The program boasts a rich and celebrated legacy spanning over 50 years in north central Alberta. Regrettably, in recent times, we have observed a decline in community participation, prompting us to take action to safeguard the distinct honor associated with receiving a Farm Family Award. As such, we've opted to suspend the program. And it says, in lieu of the Farm Family Awards, they're exploring other possible alternatives to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of rural Alberta during Farm Fair. They're committed to keeping you informed as we finalize the specifics of this initiative. Your ongoing support and understanding are deeply appreciated as we navigate this transition period. So, I got this. I tentatively put it on the planning meeting agenda. I don't know if you guys have any comments here at this time. As you guys are aware, once every 2 years, an ag society in a rotation submitted a name from their respective areas to be forwarded to council. Council approved that and forwarded it on to the group that had these awards at Farm Fair International. So,
Okay, I got that email was sent to me, and so I forwarded it to Kelly and James. And the question I had was, do we want to continue with it for this year and send the application out to the next Ag Society, whoever that is? James has got the information, and then just make a presentation at Rural Roots, get a plaque made for them, and if there's a name comes in. I know James kind of talked about moving to planning, but the only thing is I was thinking of timelines. I mean, if planning's not too much further away, we could do more discussion there, but for us, we just find an old application and send it out. It's up to the Ag Society to pick the person. All we need to do is get a plaque made for a present to recognize them if there is somebody.
I just see that the ASB board's looking at discontinuing the rural route supper and looking at other options. Is that this year? Like you're
there's discussion happening at planning about the rural routes.
Okay.
It's not happening this year at all. It's coming to council for discussion about alternatives, options, the future, changing, refocusing. That'll come to the planning meeting. So there's no decision being made whatsoever. There's been some Ag Service Board discussion, and based on that discussion, some recommendations, it's coming to council for discussion on where to in the future.
But we budgeted for this year's dinner.
Yeah, it's all booked and planned and all of
Wasn't
that.
sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, no, it's just that we want to continue an egg producer in our area. Well, the Egg Society, we don't, all we do is make a plaque, that's all we've ever done, and present it to them. Sometimes, we used to do it at Rural Roots at one time, and then they moved it to Edmonton. And then we quit doing it because they did it in Edmonton, so the councillor of the area just went up and presented the MD plaque when they got theirs. I think there's a few councillors have done that over the years, but I just want to know if you guys are
Yeah,
interested.
it used to be presented at the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, that's what it
Gala
was,
there.
Straight Chamber
And
of Commerce.
then when that was discontinued, then it may be a few years, it may have been recognized if they came
Yeah.
to the Rural Roots.
And
And
then
then it
we
was
can-
always done in Edmonton
Yeah,
for
so that's
it
when
as well.
we tied on to the one in Edmonton. So I guess it's just, do you guys want to continue for this year? Send it out to the next one. and-
Was there a name
What's the-
submitted for this year?
Yeah.
Typically, what happens is we get the application form, we forward it to the respective Ag Service, Ag Society, and then they fill it out and get it in. So the person who's up now, this will be 8 years after their last submission potentially. So unless they remembered the cycle, I'm not sure if they have somebody in place. We'd have to phone and ask. And if you guys chose to, we could modify the application and potentially send it out depending on direction of council.
I'd
And
like
see
to
if they're still interested.
I'd like to see it continue. I think the recognition is huge.
Yeah, yeah. So-
Yeah. What's the qualification, James? Like, just basically,
I
is
have
it
to
just
review it.
They just choose
I
somebody?
just-
because,
At last
or what?
minute, I just printed it here. Name a farm family unit. They need to be an active farm family where agriculture is a major source of income. The family should increase awareness of agriculture, maintain high standard in ag business, promote agriculture community through involvement in rural citizenship, be proactive in new technologies, act as a role model to the rural community, be deserving based on recognition of agriculture and community involvement. That's there, and there's a couple other little things, but that's generally,
So when we received, see, this year we didn't receive an application
No.
because they canceled the program.
yeah.
But that is what we would have received from
Yes.
or Northlands, how had it then, and we just forward that application to the Egg Society and say, pick a person, fill it out. We didn't get too involved in
Yeah.
making sure the criteria was correct. We just give it to them and said, you guys pick somebody, and
And there's.
whoever you pick, we'll forward the name. So,
Yeah, they have to fill out the nomination form. It
Yeah.
includes history of the family operation, length of time in the community, how the family acts as role models, how the family spends time together, scale of operation. There's a whole bunch of long answer stuff that the Ag Society would approach whoever their nominee is and
Yeah.
either fill it out with them or on their behalf and go that way. And then organizations and special projects they were involved in.
So is it farm fair that council, is that?
Yeah.
yeah.
So why did you say that? It was just lack of interest? I mean, if they're sending out the forms and they're saying they didn't get them back with any names on
No, they
them?
never
Is that-
sent them out.
They never sent a form
They
out.
never sent them out
This-
this year.
this is an old
They made
form
the
that we
decision
have.
to forego this right now for this year, so we just got this on the 15th. This email saying that it's not happening this year in 2024.
That seems
They're suspending the program.
odd to me, rather odd.
Yeah, but like I said, they've observed a decline in community participation, prompting us to take action to safeguard the distinct honor associated with receiving the Farm Family Award. As such, we've opted to suspend the program.
See, maybe not every municipality sent somebody in. I mean, we did, but we don't know how many didn't, right?
Yeah.
I think the last time.
2 years ago.
Yeah, Richard,
Yeah.
you went and attended.
Psych Farms, yeah.
Was there a big crowd?
There was a fairly big crowd, yeah. But, I mean, that was a big room too, but,
Yeah. And this is northern Alberta. I think they do something at the Stampede,
Yeah, yeah.
similar but not the same for
Yeah.
southern, half of the province.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, do you guys want to continue it on our own for this year? If we do, we need a motion to send that to the next, so I'll just hold your motion for a minute, unless you want to include it in
So
your
what do you want to
motion.
do then, Bob? Is your idea is just to submit a name to the same group, either
Well,
Edgerton,
no,
Chauvin, or whatever? and
Well,
then-
who,
presented.
Whose turn is it?
I'd have to double check, but I believe it's Irma. I'm not positive. I haven't dealt with this.
Yeah, well.
But
the
if you
motion
chose
be
to
the-
this and wanted to use the same criteria, we
Yeah.
could rebrand and revamp this existing thing, call it the MD of Wainwright Farm Family Award,
Yeah.
and potentially send it out if that's council's direction.
That's it, just send it to the next
So
one on the
we'll-
list and.
Yeah, we'll get you in that motion to review that and go over and change the criteria geared towards stuff that's happening in Wainwright. If that's
What type of criteria?
that's
do you
up to
want
you.
changed?
I'm just saying it's
Well,
it's
just-
a province-wide and now it doesn't really have to be. It could be more, it's more
But-
local-wide.
But would the criteria be the same? Like,
It could be, I don't know.
I would say leave the same criteria, because next year if it's ramped up again, they would just continue back.
I
down.
don't think you'll see it again.
I agree, but, I mean,
So we might as well gear it towards whatever,
Yep,
doesn't matter to me.
yep, fair enough.
Are you making a motion?
Well, I guess if council's interested in going down that road, we need to, if you want to include that in your motion, Bill, or we take a separate motion, whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess I'll make that motion, then we continue on with this program in the MD Wainwright, looking for a candidate from the agricultural division, either Irma, Chauvin, or Edgerton. Yeah,
Yeah, whoever's next on the list.
whoever's next on the list, yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, anything else on James's report? We already got a motion, but from Billy? All in favor? Opposed, carried. Okay, thanks, Jamie.
Okay, and the minutes are there for reference. There's nothing, it's all pretty straightforward. So-
Yeah, okay, well, we'll leave it in your guys' capable hands and get it out to whoever and see what they send us for a name. But I agree, Bill, I think this thing probably won't surface.
Yeah, no, they've stopped it for some reason, whether it's lack
Yeah.
of interest or lack of funds or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, you could send the other two boys in, for whoever's here. Oh, the Ag Service minutes are there for your review, I guess. Just- Okay, Mr. Preston, Mr. Safety. Hey, Preston.
Morning, council.
Morning,
Morning.
Preston.
Long time no see. How's everybody doing today? Good.
Great.
Okay, we have Preston's report in front of us. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Are you hauling again today? Is it cold enough, or are we done?
Yeah, conditions are good right now. Yesterday, today, should have her wrapped up tomorrow. Might have a little bit of the plastic liner to complete, but sounds like tomorrow should be the final day. If not, we'll complete it on Monday, just get rid of the rest of the liner.
And what happens to the liner? Just,
That just goes into the general, it's just different area.
okay.
So we did receive a 627 scraper yesterday from our order from last year, so that's sitting in the yard. The other one has left Chicago. It is en route to Calgary, so I'm not exactly sure when it'll hit Calgary and then it'll go through PDI. So tentative date's kind of that middle of April. Plow truck, a week ago was 3 weeks, so you know, the way math works, it should be 2 weeks, but I don't have an actual update on that, so we'll see what's going on there. That one's, I mean, we were looking at a December, January delivery, so we're gonna be 3 months late on that one. Just to give you an idea what the schedule was for that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the update on the equipment side. Oh, grader will come April 2nd in that week. That'll be for Division 6. Yeah.
Graders are when?
Grader is April 2nd to the 5th,
Oh, yeah,
somewhere
okay.
in that timeline. Right after Easter,
Yep.
first week of April.
Okay, anybody have anything else? Motion to approve?
Oh, we got the permit for Range Road 101. That's the other thing, sorry.
Yeah, I heard
Trying
that.
to scraping my mind here, yeah. Yeah, that's the crossing that we're moving.
10-1.
Billy's.
Dash one. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Motion to approve it, please.
I will.
Okay, Bruce, all in favor? Safety, okay, nothing's going.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Ray.
Yeah, a little bit happening here in the last little bit. All took part in the regional emergency management exercise. It took place late February. Staff completed first aid training at the end of the month. We had our safety management meeting. We were talking about PPE and going over all of our PPE in the shops and checking for deficiencies and expiry dates, replacing as needed. Yeah, nothing exciting, but
Come on, Ray, give us something exciting.
I wish I had something else to talk about. Yeah, we were talking about emergency response planning with the staff members, making sure everybody was aware of the muster locations. Went over all the task-specific hazard assessments that related to everybody's jobs. Still carrying on my correspondence with neighboring counties and districts, reviewing and going over everybody's policies, sharing ideas. One thing we did do was replace emergency lighting exit signs in all of our facilities. They were a little outdated, something that needed to happen, so we did go around and replace all of that. So, and yeah, as for Parks and Recreation, getting ready for the season startup May 1st. Hired our employees that we're going to bring on board, putting together procedures and documents for the clubhouses. Yeah.
Got everybody hired? You did?
Yeah, yeah. All the positions that I
Lots of
acquired.
applications?
There
or-
was more applications this year than I've seen the last 3 years combined.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of interest in work this year, so.
It looks like Arm Lake's progressing well.
It is, yeah, actually, we've just got all the Ts crossed right now. A couple of minor touch-ups to take care of, but we'll be well ready before May 1st. Yeah. Alarm system, it's the new updated system has been installed. We've already undergone tests on it to test its working and capabilities, and yeah, it's a lot better out there for sure.
Good.
I have a question for you, Chris.
Sure.
You didn't tell us how we're making out on gravel pit cleanups that we started on them.
Yeah, it's in my report. I didn't expand on it. Yeah, we actually finished up at the Sullivan Pit. We're mobbing out to do a little bit of stripping at the Pierce Pit right now. And then after we get that stripped and ready for crush, we're going to head over to the Stasek Pit and do our sloping off of there and work on it to kind of button some of that area up as well. More in-depth gravel reclamation we'll talk about at the planning meeting, but that's kind of where the snapshot looks right now.
Did you get any gravel hauled out of that pit that needs to be reclaimed?
Which one is that? Because they kind of all need to be reclaimed.
No, the one that had gravel, there was no more crushes there, that was 35,000 yards.
Are you talking the Larson Pit?
No.
No, not yet. But I'm going to expand on that a little bit at the planning meeting as well. Yeah.
Okay. Now, where were we? Ray's report, anything else? Anybody have anything else? Motion to approve?
I will.
Thanks, Richard. All in
I should-
favor? Opposed, carried.
And I should clarify, they don't all need to be reclaimed. They all have some work that needs done. I mean, it's just a matter of when we decide to do
We
it, so.
understood.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to mislead on that.
No, we knew you were just being smart after.
Well, that happens after 2 days at convention. You get educated, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
While get you back.
Okay, advertising for 2024 culvert supply.
Okay, so we advertised for our culverts this year, went to RFP. Did receive 3 proposals attached, with Arm Tech coming in with the lowest price, so.
Okay, motion to proceed if that's what you wish.
Are all culverts the same, Preston?
Yeah.
You get,
Okay, thanks.
Did I ask Oscar? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like they're the
typically,
same
yes.
mills
Yeah,
in the-
yeah, you know, you have to specify what you want for thickness.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, there potentially is thinner, and like 3 mil, 5 mil sort of thing, right? But as far as the corrugations, and that's all standardized, yeah.
Okay, Oscar's got a motion.
Secondly,
Any, any other questions or comments on it? All in favor? Opposed, carried. Okay, paving pilot program. Okay, we want to do something down in Richard's division if council is wanting to do. So we need a motion for the length and location of the road so it can go to the,
I'd like to make a motion, we put it on the east end of 462, right connecting to 894, 1 mile.
okay,
What about the one that killed Edge Hall?
No,
Why?
because if we get 894 paved, we want to connect it to that one. And when we talked with Rohi, there was a substantial amount of moving things over to the other side.
You will see a
Most of your
mobilized,
traffic's on the other end, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that, but
I was just thinking.
Yeah.
For your farmers that are out there.
west end versus east end. East end, you'll only have one tie-in, because you'll have your asphalt there already.
Yeah.
On the west end, you'll have basically 2 tie-ins, because you'll have to prep both ends of that tie-in. And there will be a move fee. Otherwise, as far as location, it's really up to council what they'd like to do.
yeah. Well, we have a motion where to put it, so I guess let's see how that motion goes. And if you don't like it, move it somewhere else. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, it's carried. Okay, corral replacement. We had this last month, but we got it again this month, so Billy.
Well, there's a few changes in it, and the last motion that was, we put the whole price of the corral system in there. I took it back to the landowner, the owner of the corrals, and he just, and I get where he's coming from. He's 75 years old and he can't build a set of corrals anymore, so he said, I'll pay for half of it. As you can see here, we got a price in the wood. Project $5,680 with the owner going to pay 50% to that cost to that, and I think it's I can see where he's coming from, and I'll make the motion that we go with option 1 and replace his corrals.
Okay, just for your benefit, Richard, I'll just take you back to what happened. We signed we had an agreement with the landowner to purchase the land for $50,000. And at that time, there was a commitment made that we would look at the corrals. So we went to sign the agreement.
Yep.
He changed his price from $50,000 to $85,000. So then he went to Billy, and Billy, he wanted corrals built. So it came back to the last meeting was $8,000 that he wanted.
Oh, okay.
So that was defeated, and now it's back here again. So
Yeah.
I guess for nothing's really changed. I mean, other than money.
Yeah.
He wanted 8,000, he didn't get it, so now he's asking for 3. But the conditions never changed of the discussion. I mean, the corrals were never promised before. I think like in the second quote agreement, he went up 35,000. So I don't know, but it's just the money, right, Bill? He just reduced it from 8 to 3,000.
Well, the $8,000, Bob, was for the steel corral system. And then he realized that. I said, I mean, he wanted me to bring it forth again, and I said, I can't, because it's the same motion. I said, it doesn't make any sense. And he said, what if you build them out of wood? It'd be cheaper. And I said, okay, I'll bring it.
Yeah.
I got Preston to do up the quote with the people in the wood, and basically, that's what he's buying is the wood, and our forces are putting the corral in. So it's considerable cheaper, and
Yeah, absolutely, but
Yeah.
I didn't vote against it because it was $8,000.
Yeah,
That's not why I voted against. I voted against it because the contract didn't specify Krell's. To me, it's just that I couldn't get 8,000, so I'm gonna come back and ask for
No,
less.
no, and I realize that, the contract, it probably was omitted in the contract, and if I do one again, and the Krells are located there, I think
Yeah, well.
it'll be either there, no replacement in the contract or replacement. And
Yeah.
this is, in this particular contract, it was signed in the office here and it was omitted. And I see where he's coming from. He can't build, he wants the wooden Krells and he's willing to pay for the materials.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And how long does it take to build them, do you think?
2 days, Preston's got
Yeah,
on.
we've booked, or I budgeted 2 days.
And
Okay.
there's a design and you can't change, he won't be changing the structure and adding things.
No,
to it.
I just copied the size that it already is existing with the one alley.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is carried. Okay, Unit 102.
Yeah, so we've received a letter from Village Edgerton requesting to purchase,
I'll just finish this.
I guess a little more background on that. Village Edgerton did ask me prior to the start of 2024, you know, what potentially if we would be disposing of any trucks. And I said, yeah, we're looking at getting rid of one truck, disposing of one truck. So that's where the conversation started, but they've now submitted a letter and they want to purchase this unit. And we're not in a position where we're getting rid of it quite yet, but we're still, like I said earlier, we're waiting on a new truck to come before we dispose of this one.
So what do you guys want to do?
Who set this price?
They said it,
They did.
yeah.
And seems reasonable to you or what?
I guess for the Village of Edgerton, yeah,
What year is that truck, Chris?
2010.
I mean, it's their offer.
Tandem axle.
Yeah.
I said it's what they've offered, I don't know, it's whatever you want to do, don't matter to me.
What are they notoriously worth, other ones we've traded on?
Well, the issues you have with these styles of trucks, with the DPF filters, being an international, they do end up on the lower end of the scale for sale.
So this would be reasonable price?
I think it is a little bit low, but I think it's reasonable in this situation, circumstances.
So they want the plow, right? Trucking them.
Yeah, they said they wanted the front plow, dispose of the wing and the sander, which is not a problem on our side, from what I can see. So,
I'll make the motion.
Yep.
And it has a box on it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Mike's made a motion that we sell it to him for $7,500. Any further discussion?
When will they get it? When do we get rid of it?
Well, I think we need to include in the motion as well, when we're in a position to dispose of it, then they'll get it,
Okay, yeah.
which probably be this spring at some point.
Okay.
But I kind of want to, truthfully, I want to wait until our trucks are hooked onto their belly dump trailers and gravel season is kind of getting going, because I do need, once I put a box in that truck, it's a little handy when it's wetter out to get gravel out to places, because it doesn't want to come out of the belly dump sometimes in the earlier season, right? Being cold and so on and so forth. Not that we're hauling with it right now, it is a sander right now, so we're plowing with it, but, just at that early start, right?
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? One opposed, carried. Alrighty, Dawn's here, so I guess we should bring them in and you guys, because we do have one more item that Ray should be here for, right? So I guess it might not take too long. Let's finish the next RFD and then we can bring in.
Oh, the camping rates?
The camping rates, yeah. So anyways, it's listed there that Wainwright wants to raise the rates. And they can't do that without our approval. So this is what they have sent in for a rate increase. It doesn't line up with ours, but that's okay.
No, it doesn't line up with ours, and I want to speak to this, because I don't know if I'm totally in agreement with this. At the same time, they're making the profit on it, and I don't really know where their profit margin's sitting right now, so.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it does matter. I mean, it's our ratepayers that are paying this, the
No,
majority of
not-
them.
not-
Doesn't have
not-
to be
not-
all of them.
That's not true. It's some
No,
of
it's
our
not?
ratepayers maybe. It
It's
could be
what?
ra- It could be ratepayers from all over the
It could be,
province.
it could be,
But
yeah.
I mean, is it up to us to dictate what people make for profit, Bill?
When we-
Well, if it affects our ratepayers, yeah, don't you think, Bob?
Well, I think if they don't like the rate, they don't have to go there. They could come to
Yeah,
the mini park.
no, that's true, that's true.
I mean, I don't know, I don't really like the differential of the two rates, but they have a business, and we have never, in our agreement, they do not have to provide a audited financial statement. So
No.
we don't know what they make.
So I'm gonna ask
I
you
would
then,
surmise,
what-
I agree with you, they make a profit, but I don't know how much, because if they're not making a profit, they wouldn't be there.
That's exactly right.
So,
So if they raised this rate to $25 on the daily, what would you say?
what was that?
If they raised this daily rate to $25 a day,
They didn't
what would
raise-
you
but
say?
They didn't raise it to
What
that.
would you say?
Well, that's a hypothetical. I'm just.
Well,
dealing
it
with-
is,
I'm
but
dealing
it's
with what's in
so,
front of
I
me,
mean, it's
so.
still raising the rate.
Yeah.
When is enough if you don't see their financial statement? I guess that's the
Well,
that's the
then,
point I want.
perhaps that they should ask for financial statements if that's the issue.
Well, I think we'd have to reopen the contract, and I think that expires in 3 years, and that could be one of the new conditions we put on the contract when we do negotiate with them. But I did sit down with Ray and discuss with Lynn and Lori, and they looked at a lot of different things. They looked at inflation, they looked at what the going rates are in the area for campgrounds. Riverdale isn't, it's comparable, but it isn't.
That's what I was going to ask you then, the reasoning behind that. Is there an increase in power or gas, or what increases
We're paying.
are they going?
Aren't we?
They're, with not so much power, they're locked into a set rate for another 2 years, I think. I could be wrong on that.
At the end of
but-
2025 is
Yeah.
contracts up for
So
renewal.
power rates, but they are seeing a spike in usage of power. So their rate's the same, but there's a spike in usage, and there's also food cost increases have been quite substantial in our meeting.
Can they not pass that food on? That's not part of the $17
They
daily
probably
rate.
could.
Don't forget me wrong here, I don't understand
Yeah.
that, but.
No, and that's fair, Bill, and this is what they're asking for, and at the end of the day, when both Ray and I had those discussions, that's what they presented and what they need. So
To
we
me,
said we
that's
would
like a
bring it here.
15% increase, so I just want to know where it's coming from at the other end.
Yeah, but did we increase them last year? I don't think we did we?
No, the last increase was 2 years ago.
Okay. Well, you got some options, people?
I mean, I guess if if they want an increase in the rate, then I want them in here to explain the increase. That's what I would like.
You want what then?
I want them in here explaining the increase. You know, why we need an increase.
I don't know if you can do that.
Well,
Well,
okay,
we did have a
then I'm
meeting
not
with
in
them,
favor
Bill.
of it.
We did meet with them, Ray, myself, and Kelly met with them and had that discussion, and at the end of the day, we did press the same issues that you're having. It's concerning, because we're representing the ratepayers, but they do view this as a business, and they need to be profitable. And they're telling us these are the numbers they need to be profitable. And like I say, in 3 years, if council wants to start going through financial statements, and that's a condition we can put onto the contract.
Just another separate note too, the seasonal increases won't be in effect until 2025 season, because seasonals have already put in their checks for the 2024.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just,
that's
it's on this year except for the seasonal rates.
That's right, yeah.
So you need a motion for this? Yeah, I'll make the motion that we accept the rates presented.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, now we can bring in Mr. Eisman. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
15, 20 minutes.
What's that?
Come here.
Sir Donald, how are you doing, sir?
Well,
How things? How things? Good, sorry we're late. We just had to kind of finish up a couple things. Go on, have a chair. We still got some money. Well, we have, is everybody around the table? I'll just wait for Oscar. He must have went for
yeah, I know.
Morning.
So where'd our red-haired friend go? Washroom?
Starting to get busy at the office, Don? Yeah, I would imagine, eh?
'Tis the season. Panic mode plus.
Okay, Don, you're here, welcome, and go over our financial statements. So I'll let you start it up and lead into it, and people have questions they can ask away. If that works for you?
That works for me.
Okay, thank you. So go ahead.
All right. I'm just going to give you a brief overview, I guess, of things that I see. When we get to the numbers part, I chose variances between the 2 years, anything over $350,000 that shows up on a line item here in the statements, just so you know where I came from. The first thing I was just going to point out to you, other than tell you that you'll have a clean auditor's report, assuming you approve the financial statements today. It's just the changes in the auditor's report. It was changed this year, I think, by the Institute to, it kind of does bullet points for, instead of going on in a paragraph, word after word after word, it kind of bullets it, so it's, I think it's easier to read for most people. So I just wanted to point that out so that you can, if you have a look and see basis of, like, where our opinion is at the very first paragraph, so. Then into the numbers. I'm on page 4, or consolidated statement of financial position. First thing that really pops out, of course, is that cash and temporary investments are up about $19.7 million. But I would reference you down about 4 lines to the line item also that says investments, and that's down about 12.5. Now, some of this is moving money around based on classification. Like the investment line down there is anything that would be over 90 days, whereas anything that's under 90 days that's invested is still considered cash because it's liquid. So, and the remainder of the increase roughly comes from your operations for the year when you exclude certain items. And then going down, taxes and grants in lieu are up about about 1.3 million for the year. And that has a lot to do with some write-offs during the year. Trade and other accounts receivable are up about $1.5 million for the year. Majority of this is about, because there was an accrued interest receivable of $1.48 million roughly, so that's the majority of that. Then down under accounts payable and accrued liabilities, it's down about $391,000 for the year, and trade accounts payable are up for the year about, or sorry, it was 391 increase, and trade accounts received or payable were up about $383,000 for the year. So And down about 4 more lines is a new item, reclamation liabilities. And that's about $2.4 million. And this is to accrue a liability for restoration of gravel pits when they need to be restored in the future. It's-
That was a requirement, Don, I believe, by the
That is a
government, wasn't it?
requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a choice. Anyway. Some of that was, it's taken a long time to get it so that it was forced upon people to actually record the liability, but
Yeah.
it now is. So.
Oh.
Same with landfills.
Yeah.
Then down under non-financial assets, you can see inventory for consumption is up about $3 million. And the majority of that is increase in gravel inventory for the year. And then tangible assets, they're up about $4.16 million net. And that's comprised of $14.65 million of asset purchases, $9.69 million of amortization, and proceeds received on trades or sales of about 0.8 to get us to the 4.16 million net increase. And if you flip the page, first thing is net municipal property taxes of about $2.8 million. Excuse me. Majority of this is governments and grants in place. It used to be called property or taxes in lieu. And I believe that was it because that's up about $2.6 million, so that's the majority of it. You see investment income is up about $1.34 million. Majority of that again is rates, plus you do have an increased amount that's actually invested. So under other, a couple lines farther down, we have increase of $629,000, and a lot of this is coming from firefighter, coming from all over the place for your equipment and firefighters, different jurisdictions. And down under expenses, general min is up about $1.08 million, and a majority of that number consists of tax cancellations because that's over $850,000. Under transportation services, down about $6.6 million for the year. The majority of that is a decrease in amortization for the year because I believe you changed the rates and extended the period for amortization. So that's down about, the amortization was down about $7 million for the year versus 2022. And then down towards the bottom, under capital revenue, cost of recovery for roads is up about $880,000. This is just an internal allocation based on how, like what you do for roads, and so you're allocating it from other departments and charging it to capital. Government transfers for capital or capital grants, up about $921,000 for the year, and a lot of that is related to Lagoon. Provincial grants are up about $277,000, and the federal grants are up about $644,000. Then I will get you to, on page 15, the item that I mentioned that was new for liabilities on the reclamation thing. There's a note and description that Tyson has written in there, and just to describe what exactly the process is and how it works. So I thought you should know that that was there. Back on page 22, sorry. I just want to point out that overall your reserves have increased about $7.4 million for the year. So that you're aware. That was,
Page is that, Don, sir?
22. You added to reserves of about $9 million, and you drew from reserves during the year about 1.6 to get to the 7.4 increase for the year. So that's a nice number. And the other thing, only other thing that I would like to actually point out to you is on the next page over, on page 23. This is more for your staff than anything else in their pension plan. Because at one point, this local authority's pension plan, within about the last 5 years, had a significant deficit to it, and now runs a $12.67 billion surplus. So I think that's significant, and I think you've seen the rates drop on any of the pensions, deductions and stuff, and what you're contributing as far as adds to the plan. So I think that's significant going forward to know that that's well managed, so. And that's all I really have to cover.
Okay, thanks, Don. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Don? Well, if not, I'd like to thank you and our staff for working together to get this done for us. I know we really appreciate what our staff do. They get it ready for you. We appreciate what your staff goes through to get it ready for us and for you taking the time to come in and go over it with us. It's,
Yeah, you're quite welcome. It's nice to walk into a place that's really organized, so.
Yeah, that's good. Well, that's kudos for our group here. So, if anybody does have any more questions, we will stop for a break. But thank you very much, Don. Welcome to join us for coffee if you like.
Do you need this one too?
No, so we have one more. Alrighty, we're at accounts. Have accounts in front
We
of
still
you.
got money.
Anybody have any questions on the accounts? If not, motion to approve.
I will.
Okay, thanks, Richard. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed of any? Carried. Financial statement. Need a motion to approve as presented by administration. Moved by Mike. All in favor? Opposed of any? It's carried. Reserves are there for your approval, or for your information. Approval of the 2023 audited financial statements. Moving, thanks, Bill. Need to approve them to make them public. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Yep.
Opposed of any? It's carried. Okay, monthly status report. Yeah, how does it look? Looks like a lot of completes. Excuse me. Anybody have any questions?
I can approve it.
I don't, just information, Bruce.
Oh, I thought we had to, no, I guess not. Okay.
Okay, RFD assessment
Well, that's where I was.
services.
Yes, our current contract came due, so we put it out for procurement and got one proposal. So I'll need approval for that.
I can do that one.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Thank
All
you.
carried. Okay, enterprise resource planning system.
Okay, this is our computer software program, which is coming due. It's not being supported past 2024 and is being terminated in 26. So we went for proposals and got two proposals as on page 51.
Yep.
Why'd the other company score so low?
Because their total cost is quite a bit higher. wasn't it?
Yeah, it mostly was to do with cost.
Total cost.
So what's this?
51, page 51.
Stephen, over how many
Are you happy with them,
years?
Stephen? This Central Service Square?
This is it's a 5-year contract.
It's a 5-year contract, so when you figure it out over 5 years, it's still quite a bit higher.
That's right, yeah.
But is the product any better?
Well, sometimes, that's a huge price difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we scored on a number of factors too. So, I mean, implementation, training, data conversion, there was a number of factors that we scored on as well. So, they didn't all meet everything, but.
Okay, then
Central's-
I'll make a motion that we take the Central Square Canada software package.
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, carried. Okay, the Boolarima and Edgerton.
For council's consideration, $1,000 was given to them last year.
I'll make that motion, option 1.
Okay, thanks, Richard. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed or any? Carried. 4-H Beef Club.
Okay, same as the last one. $500 was given to them last year.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, carried.
You hopped on that one.
Okay. Letter to the regional, from the Regional Waste Energy Authority. Letter is there, it's just for information.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have we had any applicants, or can you speak to that?
Yeah, we've had a few. Not
Yeah.
really
Why
disclose
do you
that
say
right
it
here.
like that? Huh?
Can't really disclose that here, but
No,
we've had
but-
applications,
I
yeah.
thought maybe you were noting they weren't approved.
Yep, we have we have applications out for Jamie's jobs, and we have a few that's working on
That's
a,
what, May?
end of May, yep,
End of May.
end of May. The day he's done here is he's done there. But we do have a few.
So would
applications. Go ahead.
we support them again, like, would our field men be there?
No, it's a
Totally
totally,
different.
totally different.
Okay.
The authority's going totally different. They're going
Alright.
with a full-time employee. So anyways, information, good thought there, Robin. Good information. Okay, stars.
Letter of thank you.
Letter of gratitude. An RMA contacts, I guess we just come from a conference, so we've heard most of anything that they are want to talk about. We have an ICF survey that we need to do with council, but we're going to do that at the end of a meeting. It's from RMA, Kelly? Where's it from?
It is from Army, yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
Okay.
that Today?
What's that?
We're doing that today?
Yeah, when the meeting's over, we'll do it. Or at the end of the meeting anyway. It's going to take a bit of time to go through.
About 20 minutes.
Okay, we have two, I think everybody's got a copy. Yeah. We have two road allowance transfers, and the first one is from Reinhardt Ranching Limited to Perry Farms 1917 Incorporated. So we need a motion to approve the name change of the current road allowance lease and rescind the agreement.
I'll make that motion, Bob.
Thank you, Oscar. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, carried. Second one we have is the similar one. It's the name transfer from Chelsea McDonald to Ashley and Nathan Henry. Henry?
I'll approve this one.
Who moved that?
Me.
Oh, thanks, Robin. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed of any? Carried.
Pretty simple.
Okay. We are gonna scoot right down to Director of Development. Everything done early. Good. All good.
Back up.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one that is. Let's see, it's good.
Morning.
Boy, absolutely. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Good, how about you?
Pretty well.
Good.
Okay, we have Development Officer's report. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Are the subdivision applications moving ahead?
Yeah, you'll have one at the next MPC meeting.
Just one?
Just one.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? Dana's report? Motion to approve it as presented.
Yep.
Thanks, Oscar. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, any, it's carried. Okay, RFD, oh no, it's not here. Gravel pit expansion plan.
What's that?
Gravel pit activity expansion.
1346 for,
Okay, $22,000. So, I would take this as, so the issue is we can't crush any of that.
Yeah, updated activities, and then because of the river below and some of the oxbows that have been created, we have to do the hydrotechnical assessment as
Okay.
well. And the gravel is to the south, the anticipated
Yes,
gravel.
yep.
Yeah. on
So
that
what's
side.
your wishes, folks? We need, it's gonna cost $22,000 to do the plan, so we can continue to crush in that pit.
they'll fall into the river.
Oh, this is a consulting firm.
Yeah. It is, Bill. I'm not sure if I can make a call.
From Argentina.
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rican consulting firm.
I'll make that one.
Okay, thanks, Oscar. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed of any? Carried. Okay. Speakers. This is one north of Fabian, I believe.
Yeah.
Correct.
And we've had a bit of discussion through MPC on the way to proceed with it. And so this is what council needs to decide how they want to deal with it. We have a couple of different opinions, but we have an option here, and if that's what you wish.
I'll make the motion that we go with option 1. Rescind motion 322.23.
And what, do you have a preference on what letter you want to go with? Because there are different portions of the agreement, of the motion.
I'm just reading that.
Oh,
Yeah, what, is
At
that
cost to us or cost to?
cost to the ratepayer, I'm
Ratepayers or
assuming
what?
that is.
Yeah, so the first one, A, would be at our cost.
Yeah.
B would be at the cost of the individual from whom the land was originally taken. The third option would be keep the land, and the fourth option would be sell it openly.
A. My motion is A.
It's going to cost us $1,700.
Potential from anywhere from 500 to 1,700. So if they accept the description, it would just cost 500.
okay, well, we have a motion to go with 1A. Is that correct, Mr. Lawson?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed of any? Carried. All righty. Thanks, Dana.
Take the rest of the day off.
Seems to happen that way, doesn't it? Okay, motion to approve the pay sheets.
Billy.
Okay, Bill. And any further discussions? All in favor? Carried. Okay, committee reports. Seed plant. Seed plant is busy. We got about 40,000 or so on the books. We are up till the end of February. We're about 10,000 ahead of last year. We were at this time, so things are clicking along. Anybody that wants to buy the scale, it will be on the April Ritchie Brothers scale, Ritchie Brothers auction. It's listed and it's going to be on there, so it will be. They got it into that sale. Yeah, I think it's going pretty good. Plant seems to be working well. Yeah, they're on hard red right now, and the only trouble we're having right now is getting rid of screenings. Can't seem to. We've had one of the farmers, our board members, had taken out and haul them home because we got nowhere room for them. Can't sell them. Nobody's buying.
Nobody's doing what? Buying the screen?
Screenings, yeah.
How much you selling for?
You have to phone the plant. I don't know.
Pardon?
You'll have to phone the plant. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It'll be market price. Is what they asked for.
Probably depends on the product.
Well, it's mostly wheat. Barley with, yeah,
Barley,
it's two
Yeah.
products, wheat or barley.
Yeah.
And it's just market price. So, if you know somebody that's interested, tell them, give them a call.
I would take a bid full.
1,800 bushels is a truckload. 1,800 bushels. But yeah, if you're interested in wheat or barley. But I know we had to take some out because the bin was full. But yeah, I can find out for you and let you know. So.
Should get a discount on it though if they have no place for it.
Yeah, I would think you might.
Definitely do some negotiating.
I definitely think so, but we do have a place for them, but it's just not on the plant. It's not on the ground. We do, not on the plant property, I put it that way.
Well, we could store it at my place, and then what we use,
Will come off the storage bill?
yeah,
Yeah.
seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find out and let you know. Okay, Edgerton plant.
Yeah, we're 8,000 bushels ahead of last year right now, and they locked in the power and gas with ATCO for a set rate for, I think, 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's about it.
Good. Okay, FCS.
That's the meetings tonight.
Oh, okay. Battle River Foundation.
We all just attended the ASHA conference. The board decided to go as a group. I think we had a really informative trip. Our last shower goes in straight away. We have a meeting tomorrow night. What else? Our numbers are great. We're looking at a point where we might soon have a wait list, so that's been a nice change.
Oh, still got 10 rounds.
That's still close.
Okay, anything else?
Pretty good conference. Did you learn any,
Showers are in.
Yep.
did you learn any information
Where?
in the shower? I didn't ask where the shower was. I said we were talking about your conference.
Yeah, we did. I learned, please don't write this in the paper. I can hardly say the word anymore.
Okay,
Seniors,
well,
seniors housing got a boost. There's lots of good information coming forward with the new pillars of healthcare, but there was a boost to seniors housing, and then there's a current lodge review, which is way overdue. That's what we learned.
Oh, okay.
Anything else?
No,
I'm not
that's what I
sure.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pillars of health are gonna change things drastically, but
I
We
don't,
did give 80 million to home care, because
Yeah.
a lot of people want to go to having home care in there 24 hours a day.
yeah. Yeah.
okay.
We'll probably be looking at that too.
Okay, the landfill, well, as you see, we got Jamie's, is stepping down as retiring, so we are advertising for a, we're changing a bit up there, we're advertising for a full-time landfill operator. There's enough stuff going on that the board wants to go full-time. A full-time person, they like to thank the MD for working with them on getting rid of that stuff from the lagoon. They're already using it as cover. They've been hauling it in. There's a bit more there's a bit more material than it was expected. Like I thought Preston might mention that in the report, but I think it's the numbers I got are close to 3,000 ton more. So I mean there will be a little bigger cost to the MD, but it's at the same rate. So the landfill is going pretty well. One thing that we're looking at, we're having some meetings coming up with the deputy to talk about our landfill tonnage. We are operating, we're operating right in the line. We're operating as the next class of landfill, but we don't have the capacity. So the landfill is going to have to start looking at the amount of tons we're allowed to take in, 10,000 tons a year. And then if we're over, we have to report. We've been over 3 times in the last 10 years, so we're applying to have the next class, and that's not going as quick as we'd like. So we are continually watching that, and we're hoping that we get a meeting with the director, and then we've got an application in front of the minister to change our class, but one of the directors that we're dealing with he said that we haven't been over enough times that he thinks we need to go over, but the difference is, he said, oh, if you're over a little bit, that's okay, but there's two branches of the environment. There's environment, then there's enforcement, and those two don't talk to each other, so we don't want to be over. That's, you know, you can go over and you write a letter and they give you approval, but we don't want to be consistently over.
So then you got to explain that to me, because I don't understand. So you move up a class, what do you need to do?
Well,
You
we need to
clear
be
more
approved by the
land,
prop,
make a
we need
bigger
to be,
fence?
well, there's different regulations you work under. There's different monitorings. They're like, we have to monitor, we monitor our water wells. We have water wells we have to monitor for leachate. And so if you go to the next class, you have to do more monitoring. And we're doing that already. We've been monitoring as the next class for 10 years. We're operating as the next class landfill, but we don't have the approval, because the idea was back in the day was we will operate as we are the next class, so when we apply for the application, it should be, you're doing all this stuff. But the thing is, there's a couple of reasons. They've changed 3 directors in the last 5 years, and our count either goes, they've changed, sometimes it's in Edmonton region, sometimes it's in Central region, which is Red Deer, and it bounces back and forth. So every time it moves from one region to the other, you have to go through the whole process again. So we've been in Edmonton for quite a while, so we're hoping to get that done. And then once we get the next class, there's no limit on amount of
Tonnage.
Of what you can take. So this really limits our profit, because once we get to a certain level, we can't take anymore. And we have a contract with the town and the MD and the town and the villages to take their garbage. So that's number one. And so we're trying to, we've asked for that number to see, hypothetically it's 5,000 tons. So that means we can only take 5,000 tons more of garbage from somebody else. But we have to make, and we can't go over 10. So we're trying to figure out what that number is. We're going to go back in history and see how much, because that fluctuates every year as well. Like in February, talking to Tyson, our number was up 11%? 11 or 12% in February from last year. So it's really hard to say, we're only going to get X amount of tons from our contract haulers, which we have to have room for. So it's a continuing monitoring of those numbers to make sure we don't go over, and we don't want to turn it away, because it's profit for us, but we have to, or so. And it depends on what happens in our community. Like when the base is doing something out there,
Yeah.
it really adds to our tonnage.
Yeah, no,
Or
I see that.
if something happens in town, it really adds to our tonnage.
It's an unknown. It's an unknown.
Yeah, and you're
number.
absolutely right, Bill. It's an unknown. So we have to, and then if we hit that number, we have to say, okay, we can't take any more. We got to leave room for our own. But one thing, we came from a conference a couple of weeks ago in Camrose, and we went to a tour of a landfill, and the landfill in Camrose, their tipping fees is $45 a ton, and Riley's is 170 plus. So if we have to go over, like, we won't be shipping it, but I mean, it makes more sense to ship stuff to Camrose landfill than it does any other landfill around us.
So we're done the lagoon too, then?
What's that?
We are done the lagoon?
Just about, not yet.
Just, well, Preston said he's got a couple days. He made his report this morning. He said he had about, a day or two left hauling.
Plastic liner.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's just whatever he said this morning then. So we had one of our dozers in there pushing it up because there was so much material coming in. But now it's slacked off, so they're using their own stuff to push it up. But it is a good material.
Did we charge them?
Did we charge him? Do we charge him for our dozer? Well, I don't know. The rate was $10 a ton versus 45 or 170, so I guess I think that we probably did okay. But anyways, that's where, and we'll keep you up to speed on our up information. Anything else, Robin?
Just our safety.
Oh, yeah.
Our safety overhauled again.
Yeah. Yeah, we're overhauling our safety program right now, so. Okay. What's that?
Oh,
What's that?
Wondering if you're overhauling it or finally making one?
No, we've had one for years. It's just a review. We've had a safety program for, I don't know. It's been, huh? Yeah, it's been there for years. It's just a renewal, so. East Central 911,
The meeting's the 25th.
okay. Health Foundation.
We had a meeting on April 5th with the Deputy Health Minister. We're supposed to be scheduled, but it was canceled. Not sure why. We've got a report from the hospital. We're still at 15 beds, 2 opening positions in our healthcare aides are open. Phase 1 of long-term care, $7 million project, still not started yet. And then we had an $8 million OR project. And then we met in Edmonton the other day with the legislative
Parliamentary secretary.
parliamentary secretary. I can never remember that. And
Real
that was that's a canceled right now, indefinitely as far as I know. Yeah, I'm not. There's talk of partnering with been approached by the Rotary, wants to put a gazebo in the front of the hospital, so we're going to partner with not the Rotary, what is that? The group, Quota Club, that's right, thanks Bruce. The Quota Club's we're going to partner with the Quota Club to put this gazebo in front of the hospital, so that's all I have.
Okay.
2 healthcare aide positions in acute care, is that what you said?
I didn't, I got 2 openings for healthcare aides, is what she said. Ellen, you disagree with that?
No, I just
No.
wondered if that meant long-term care or.
Yeah, I
acute care.
don't know. I had long-term care under it, but that's phase 1 of the project, so I'm unsure on that.
Okay, I'll just add into where our meeting we had with the parliamentary secretary. I contacted the Minister of Municipal Affairs in one of our conversations we had talking about issues here, and I asked him if he could help us anything with our hospital, where we're going to be, what we're going to do. So he set a meeting up with the parliamentary secretary to rural health. So Billy and I and Kelly met with the guy's name is Martin Long from Yellowhead and his staff, and then Dr. Vetter was online. So we went back to the beginning, well, give them a whole binder of where we're at, where it's been up and down on the plan, off the plan, and talked about our concerns with AHS and communications with AHS and whether are they going to rebuild a new hospital, or are they going to fix stuff in place? And he was frustrated with AHS the same as we are. He said, his portfolio is the funding side. He said they come to us for funding. So, but I would say that we had a really good meeting with the guy. He took like 3 pages of notes on information that we have, and Dr. Vetter gave a lot of information from the hospital side. He said he'd get back to us. I think he's going to be a good liaison for us. I don't know, Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you. I think he will be back and forth. We're going to hear from him.
Yeah. So it's another avenue that another door that we've got opened up because of our contacts, and I think every opportunity that we can take and use these contacts that we have to get more people to listening to us, I think is going to give us a better voice. I think one of the things that he's going to work on is how we can communicate better with AHS and try to, what we need to make sure our voice is heard. So I don't know, I thought it was a positive meeting anyways. We spent an hour with him, and it was pretty good.
So when are you going to do a follow-up?
Well, they're going to be, if he's coming back to us, we got all the information. We sent him the information. He's going to get back to us with his answers. And then once we get back, I think that we'll have probably another conversation with him and maybe some more players. So he didn't give us a timeline on his response, other than I thought it would be sooner than later, because he was very interested in how the process was working. So I think it was good. But yeah, we'll stay in touch with his office, and he's got our contacts and Kelly's contacts. So I think we'll stay in touch and just see how it proceeds. But there is maybe some options out there, maybe not. We'll try to expand on those once we get some ideas where we are. So.
Yeah, they talked about the 3P.
Yeah, talked about a 3P.
Which is that's
public.
That's how Beaver Lodge got their hospital. So the town there, I think Rycroft is fronting the money.
Town of Beaver Lodge.
As I thought it said Rycroft. And
no, the mayor's name is Rycroft.
Oh, is that where I'm wrong? Okay. Where's Rycroft? Isn't it up there too?
Well, it's close, it's about 40 miles away from Beaver Lodge.
Okay. Well, anyways, they're fronting the money, and they've got a company to build it to AHS specs, and AHS rents it.
Yeah.
Same as our ambulance building here on
Yeah,
First.
Yeah, yeah, so they hired they went to a 3P, it was approved by the province, so, their AHS is the anchor tenant of the hospital, and they're gonna, and so the village, which is a small village, signed an agreement with the builder, and AHS pays the rent, or pays the monthly fee, the rent. And after 30 years, it becomes the property of the village managed by AHS. So, and they say it takes, what, 10 years to build a hospital? This was approved. They're gonna break ground this spring, and they said they're gonna have the hospital up and operational by 26 or 27. But it's a small, it's a small hospital, because it's only 40 kilometers from Grand Prairie.
Yeah, that's the surprising
That's
part
what's,
of it.
even like,
It's an $800 million hospital.
200 million, right?
What? Oh, $200 million for hospital of the
Of that,
Beaver Lodge,
whatever
yeah.
size that theirs is.
Yeah.
So there is opportunities and ideas flashing around. So this is what this MLA is going to, going to work on our behalf, just see what kind of other opportunities other than the traditional way to build a facility, so. Yeah, it was a good meeting. So, yeah, and I talked to the minister on the other night, and I thanked him for opening that door for us, so he was happy about that. So, anyways, Northern Lights.
We had a regional, they're doing the regional meetings by Zoom on February 23rd. Lots of programming still pedaled down to our local library, which I'm sure a lot of people appreciate. And they did a policy review, small things to tidy up, and that was about it.
Okay, perfect. Any questions? Economic development.
Well, that was another one that was canceled due to that storm, so it's the 29th of March now.
Okay, motion to approve the reports. There's no more questions.
Yeah.
Thanks, Oscar. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, we have a camera session, Mr. Administrator. Okay, motion to go on camera. Billy? Next to the agenda, capital funding agreement, 894, and culvert dips.
I will do that.
Okay, Bill, all in favor? Must be carried unanimously, so it has been. Okay, first thing is culvert dips. Proceed with repair culvert dips, 68 dips, $13,000 per dip, approximately, plus 5 existing approaches. Motion. Thanks, Oscar. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, carried. Paving on 894, enter into agreement as approve and sign the capital agreement for capital fund agreement for secondary 894.
I'll make option 1, move option 1.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, if any? It's carried. Anything else, Mr. Administrator? Do you want to do that surveying in a meeting, during the meeting, or after? Okay, motion to adjourn. Moved by Mike. All in favor, we're done. Thank you very much, everybody. Shut the system down.